What's up, softball families? I'm Coach Dan Blewett. In today's video, we're going to talk about dealing with bad coaches who might get your kid hurt, ruin their swing or their pitching mechanics, like ruin their skills, or ruin their confidence. We'll talk about how to deal with them and how to approach it. So let's talk about these three different things. Number one, protecting your health from a bad coach. Number two, protecting your skills from a bad coach. Number three, protecting your confidence from a bad coach. Let's talk about health first. So obviously the biggest one is being overpitched, but there's also players who are overplayed, like their knees bugging them. Coach is still asking them to go back out. But obviously the biggest one is overpitching, more so in baseball than softball, because softball players can clearly throw a lot more innings than baseball players can. But that does not mean that you cannot be overpitched in softball, because you absolutely can be overpitched in softball and suffer an overuse arm injury. So here's the thing with coaches: if they're not really taking your health seriously or your kid's health seriously, at some point you have to speak up, right? That's not profound advice. But here's the thing: players should not be asked how they feel. Can you give me one more, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't ask my players that. Maybe once in a while I'd be like, hey, how do you feel? If it was like, and he's still got more pitches left, like he could safely go back out. His pitch count has not run out. He's got plenty of rest, whatever. I might ask a kid, hey, how do you feel? Like, I could send you back out. It wouldn't be a problem. You've got plenty more pitches left. You haven't been overused. It's not an issue to send you back out, but I just don't know if you've got much more, or if you're just not feeling good today, or if you just kind of run out of gas, just like with your stuff and they're starting to get to you. So that's the only time I would ask that question. I would not ask players, can you give me another? How do you feel? Whereas I'm going to put you back out there when you're tired or when I should otherwise put you on the bench. Because here's the thing: players are never going to say, yep, I'm soft, I'm a coward, I don't want to go back out, I don't want another inning. Players want to play and they want to go back out. I was asked many times in my career, hey, how do you feel? Do you want another? And lots of times the answer was no, I don't feel good. My arm hurts. I'm out of gas. I'm going to hurt the team. But the thing is, I still said, yeah, I'm good. So coaches should be asking players nothing. They should say, hey, I'm taking you out or I'm leaving you in. It should be a decision that's not in the player's hand. Because again, and here's the other thing with young players, they're not going to know when their arm is being slowly destroyed from the inside out. Neither are you as a coach or a parent. Overuse injuries happen over a long period of time. So asking, your 12-year-old daughter today if she can go throw pitch number 240 on the weekend isn't really relevant, because she probably does feel fine because she's 12, because she doesn't have all this wear and tear on her arm yet. But guess what? When she's 15, she might not feel fine anymore. She might never feel fine because her arm is wrecked, because she's been pitched too much, because she always did feel fine and wasn't lying, but just kept going back out and getting pitched too much when she was young. So that decision should be taken out of a kid's hands. So if you're a coach, don't ask your kids how they feel. Make the decision ahead of time. I'm either going to send them back out because they still have a safe amount of pitches left in their leash, whatever you determine that is, or I'm taking them out no matter how good or bad they feel, because that's the decision that I've made for their health and for their performance. So coaches, just don't leave it to the players, because they're always going to say, yes, I can take the other inning, I can go back out there. Obviously, beyond this, if you're a parent or a player and you feel like your health is being mismanaged, either you're pitching too much or you're playing too much, or you need time off, like catching is another good example. If you're constantly catching every double, triple header, you're going to have some problems with your knees and you might need some time off. Someone just needs to speak up. That's at the end of the day, it's probably parent to parent, but kids, you can vouch for your health. But this is more where I think the parent should act as the agent for the kid, because kids don't want to go say, hey, coach, I'm tired, I'm soft, I'm scared. Can you take me out? I don't want to get hurt. That's the conversation best left for your agent, and your parent should act as your agent in that situation. Because again, that's a conversation that a kid doesn't want to have. There are other conversations like playing time that the kid should always have with a coach. The parent should not have playing time conversations with the coach. But with health, I think the parent should act as the agent and shield the player from having that conversation with the coach. Number two, protecting your skills. I'll give you an example. I played on a team where our hitting coach just completely taught the swing wrong. Everything he taught was just garbage. And he'd been there a long time, and it was his way or the highway, and he gave players no say in it. And as players came in, they were expected to conform to his system or basically go on his bad list. And if you looked at Major League Baseball, his swing was not the way those guys swung. There was lots of evidence that what he was teaching was wrong. And it made players, it wrecked their swings. They couldn't hit well in games. It was just bad for their careers in general. So here's the thing. Coaches are allowed to ask players to try new stuff. They're allowed to ask them to be out of their comfort zone. They're allowed to coach them. However, if a coach is not doing their diligence and they're teaching something that's outdated, that doesn't work, that can be easily proven wrong, that coach does not have a right to wreck your swing or wreck your throwing mechanics, wreck your pitching mechanics. If a coach is doing their diligence and growing and constantly reinventing themselves, they can ask you to like step outside your comfort zone. But as a player, if this is happening, coach is trying to teach you the worst swing in the world, or to do something wrong on the pitching side, or do something else that you've seen high-level players don't do, and you've really given it some thought and you've taken time to deliberate on it. Basically, what you end up doing is nodding your head. And this is what the hitters at my team did. They said, yep, thanks, coach. Yeah, that feels good, coach. Yeah, that feels good. Then when the coach walks away, they stop doing it. Because look, they gave it an honest try. They tried it. They listened. They were respectful. But at the end of the day, if they listened to coach and switched to his method, their swing was going to suck and their career was going to run aground because of it. So don't tune coaches out. But if they're not trying to grow and do what's best for you as an individual, as a coach to a player, then they don't deserve more and more chances to wreck your swing or wreck your mechanics. So at the end of the day, you can have a conversation about it, be a good communicator with your coach, ask them, blah, blah, blah. Don't challenge them, be respectful. But if they continue to try to get you to do something that you know is wrong or you know doesn't fit you as a player well, then don't do it. It's your career, and coaches don't have the right to ask you to do stuff that is bad for your career and bad for you as a player. Number 3, protecting your confidence. And this is just the difference between constructive criticism and character attacks. So coaches have the right to wake you up. I'll yell. I'm a pretty nice guy, but I'll yell at my players. What I don't do is call them stupid. I don't attack them as people. I don't try to put them down. But when kids who played for me, they'll tell you if they're not focused, if they're acting up, if they're off task, if they're not doing what they're supposed to doing, they're going to get an earful from me, because that's not the way a good ball player goes about his or her business on the field. However, I don't call them stupid. I don't attack them as people, because I like them as people. I wouldn't be a coach if I didn't like the kids I was coaching. So you have to remember, coaches do not have permission to call you stupid, to wreck your confidence, to be belittling or degrading to you. They do have permission to be tough on you, to be hard on you, to punish you, make you run. I have no problems with that. Your interpretation may vary, but they do not have, and this is fact, they do not have permission to degrade you or attack your character. There's a difference. So make sure you know the line between coaches yelling at me or coaches being pretty mean to me. Those are different. So understand that if your coach is really hurting your confidence because they're being degrading, they're attacking you as a person, then you should either talk with your parents about it, talk with athletic director about it, talk with a coach about it, see if they'll be civil about it, and have an actual conversation. That's a hard conversation to have. But at the end of the day, you have to communicate with somebody to have that improve, because ultimately it's just a relationship between coaches and players, and good communication is always good for any relationship. So that's a tough one. If a coach is really attacking you, it does happen quite a lot, unfortunately. The best thing you can do is try to communicate well about it. And if they still will not relent and you can't get any relief, then wall yourself off. Don't listen to them. Don't be around them. Try to do your work elsewhere if need be. I've had a coach who was just picking on me because he didn't like the drills I was doing. I was trying to fix my mechanics during a season, and he just kept being sarcastic and basically just picking on me and bullying me. Like, oh, there's Blewett doing his drills again, doing those weird drills again. It's like, I'm doing my best to get healthy and to pitch better for you. And he just was continuing to attack me. So what did I do? I'd get out to the field earlier, do my drills far away from him. His input was no longer needed. And I tried to physically distance myself. And of course, I didn't listen to anything else he said at that point, because he was just being belligerent and attacking me. So again, at that point, he had no right to degrade my confidence any further. So hopefully this helps. You'll have a lot of wonderful coaches in your career. You'll also have some bad coaches. So dealing with them and understanding where the line is an important one. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the description below. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.